In this video, I'm going to be checking out a character called Robot Steven. This was requested to me by someone named TMC55 and was made by them and D, the Red Cloak. So thanks for the request, by the way. I had a lot of fun using the character. If the character interests anyone watching the video, I'll leave a download link in the description. But since this is the first video of this type that I've made, I want to quickly explain what I'm going to do in it first before I get into it. So I've pre-recorded an arcade playthrough, and I'm going to talk over it, basically just explaining the pros and cons of the character, what I like, what I don't like, where improvements could be made, and what I think are just great about him. The reason I've pre-recorded the arcade run is because I'm really bad at speaking and playing at the same time. I'm pretty awful at it, and both departments tend to suffer when I try this. So this should optimize my playing ability whilst giving a detailed insight into what's going on this method. I'll take the character into training room afterwards, give my final thoughts, maybe hammer down on some specific points. I plan on doing videos like this for other characters in the future. I already have some in mind, some that I just want to gush about, others that I find problematic. But if anyone has a suggestion, like, just drop a request in the comments. It could be your character, it could be a character you like, and I'll check them out. There's no script. I'm just going to be riffing, speak about it as natural as possible. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm ready for you. Bring it on. Round one, fight.
So to start off, he has pretty stubby normals. I think it's quite common for MUGEN characters to have very stubby normals. But he makes up for it with a hop. That's not his dash, big boy combos. That multiple punches move is really good. I like it. It is punishable, but it's fast, takes up a lot of space, builds tons of meter, and yeah, easy confirm into a super. The super's really good as well because it's like plus 1,000,000 on hit and block. Basically, you can't really mess up by having your opponent be in contact with it. So pressuring with like crouching normals and the hop into air normals is sort of the game plan for this character, I find. He has no sort of full screen presence, no fireballs, and he doesn't really have any way of dealing with fireballs. It's one of his biggest weaknesses for sure. He has a few quirks, so you see the hop, you can go nuts. It's basically high-low mix-ups all day. Yeah, a little glitch there because of a throw animation. That wasn't on the Robot Steven's part, that's Orochi Ishiro. But yeah, chip him out. The 100 hands is good. It's a good move. I like it. He also has the rolling kick move. It's actually safe, so you can sort of just throw it out quite liberally, and you don't have to worry about getting punished for it. Yeah, skate short. The jumping normal that I use doesn't have a great hitbox, so against smaller characters you won't be able to hit that move. You could just replace it with the light kick instead of that. Was the hop move I'm using is a heavy kick. If you use the light kick, it hits quite low, so you can just use that as a replacement if the other character's a bit too small. Even though I said his normals are stubby, his standing light kick's decent, especially for him. It's got like decent range. There are weird properties in the normals though. Some of the normals cancel into some special moves on block and don't in others. So for example, the standing light kick, you can do the standing light kick into the multiple hands, but it only ever works if it hits. It's quite strange. Also his crouching punch, the crouching light punch, is low, so there isn't much use to use the crouching light kicks. The crouching light kick has a tiny bit more range, so you just pressure in, pressure in. That move is super minus, the standing heavy kick, but you can cancel it into some special moves. His orb move, you might have seen it a couple of times, where he swings his arms, he makes like a circle around him. If you're wondering why the computer hasn't blocked it very often, it's because it's unblockable. It's pretty fast unblockable. Even though it's short range and it's relatively slow, it's really strong. Level 3, that's a command throw. You can freely move off, like sort of in the middle of it. So I don't know whether that was intentional, but you can make tiny little combos afterwards. The level 3 is kind of slow. I think you can jump out of it on reaction. I'm not too sure, and you can't combo into it either. But it does have the advantage of being completely invincible. Unfortunately, it's the only move he has which is invincible, so he struggles when he gets rushed down. And if you played MUGEN, you'll know that a lot of AI likes to rush down, so he has a lot of trouble in that department. But yeah, his light buttons are good. The roll kick, you can sort of spam it. In some scenarios, you're going to use it just to get in, because you can't really use much else besides his short hops. But yeah, he builds meter like an absolute monster. This super, it is plus. It's basically you can't ever mess up using it. But I will say, against smaller characters, the hitbox isn't super great. So smaller characters will be able to duck under the hits and punish you, even on hit. So yeah, as you see there, like was it the 4 hits? The first few hits, we'll just say that. She ducked under him. So I would say to TMC55, if you plan on modifying this character, I would definitely improve the hitbox on that super, because it's inconsistent on some characters. The hop move, the hop into the jumping kick, I've used it a lot, and if you think that it's very abusable and it could possibly be an infinite, that's because it is, and it is. Robot Steven has weaknesses here and there, and while I'm not a massive fan of infinites, sometimes I will be happy to use them if it helps cover up the weaknesses of the character. So I don't think I land an infinite at any point in this video. I think I land a few loops, but I don't do it for like 5 or 6 repetitions. But it's sort of something you might need to use here and there just to beat some of the tougher characters that you play against. So the standard combo, rolling kick, standing heavy kick into the hands, helps you keep your pressure on, as well as knock them down. You get a decent amount of meter, decent amount of damage, and I'm using it to waste this idiot who's got really annoying hurtbox issues. Whenever he backdashes through your moves. It's kind of annoying to fight against, but the AI isn't tough, so it doesn't really matter. Through this playthrough, I don't end up playing against a projectile character, but I think Robot Steven really struggles against projectile characters. He has no decent way to deal with them in any way, shape or form. Yeah, unblockable, cancel into super. That's one of the best ways to use it. Drop the combo because I'm really good. But projectile characters basically destroy Robot Steven. It's a horrible matchup because he has because he can't move forward or backwards without committing with the hop. His walk speed isn't great, and because his normals are too short to interrupt fireballs, like during their startup. And on top of that, he has a Dalsim-like jump, where it's quite slow, and he floats. He has no great way of... wow, that's kind of weird. Hydern. I probably need to get a new Hydern. Basically, he doesn't have any tools to deal with projectiles, which is fine. You don't need to have projectile like specific moves, as long as you've got like a decent jump, like a nice regular speed jump to, you know, visibly see a fireball and just jump over it. But because this guy has a slower jump, he needs something to get by the fireballs. Otherwise, he'll just if you play against like a Remy or a Ryu that just spams fireballs, you can't deal with it. It's like, if you walk forward, it'll push you back when you block it. If you jump, you'll basically eat an uppercut. It's a huge weakness of the character, and I'll probably suggest certain things I would do to help him deal with projectiles later. But yeah, just pressure in with 100 hands or multi-hands or whatever. It's easy to confirm into super, so it's not uncommon to just spam here and there. But the guy doesn't have an arcade ending or anything, so it goes straight back into the menu. So let's take him to a training room, and I'll expound on some of my thoughts. So now that you've seen me play him in arcade mode, I'll just take him into training mode and go through some thoughts. I'll have him fight Potts Ryu, because I'm very familiar with this character. So what I would say is the basic overview, in my opinion, is he has no presence at full screen, and he struggles in the mid-range because of his weak normals. Where he really shines is kind of here, where he can just pressure you with the hops into high attacks or just crouching buttons, which are low. I think all of his crouching buttons are low attacks, besides this, the crouching medium punch. He's a 4-button character, by the way. The idea with this character is basically you want to get in and go ham. I think we just try to do the infinite. Alright, get familiar. It's an awkward infinite. You've got to do the hops over and over into the kicks. There we go. Bit awkward. You can do the light kick into heavy kick. In some ways it's easier, but you can't do the light kick too early, otherwise it maintains the momentum and the heavy kick won't come out in time. So I just think doing the heavy kick infinite is infinitely easier. The heavy kick launches. This heavy kick, so most of the normals I've found, I'll go through the special moves. 100 hands, great move. I think this is pretty much perfect the way it is. This move, the unblockable, I'll suggest some tweaks. They are the rolling kick, which is also great. I think it's great the way it is, because, I mean, besides being able to combo off it, which is really good, it covers up one of his weaknesses, which is, well, it covers up a couple of his weaknesses, but one of the weaknesses he has is this poor range. You know, you can use it from miles away and basically occupy that space that he struggles with just normal buttons. And then he has this move, which I never use. You can combo off it. But it's the range is really bad. You know, it doesn't hit very close. It looks like he kind of moves backwards as he's doing it. The range is very, very, very problematic. Like if I do this chain, oh, never mind. Works on that chain at point blank. I like point blank. Point blank range, it doesn't work. So it does work. Whereas like, you know, if you add, I keep doing that white instinct. You try to confirm into it with like an extra jab, you're not getting it. And mid screen, you're not going to get anything off it anyways, not few miles away. So it's only really viable in the corner, and even then it's not really viable because you'll just push yourself away from the character. I never use this move. I would improve it by having it have some forward momentum, or improving its hitbox, or giving it some other properties, like maybe making it invincible or something. Since this guy is lacking in invincible moves besides this level 3, I think that would be a decent change to handle this move. His supers are good. Well, this super is anyways. You can go into the infinite off of it. You can like crouch and light kicks, confirm into it. Into the infinite. If I could do the infinite, I would do that. But on block, it's really good as well. Yeah, let's see if I can. Wait, I'm playing both characters at the moment. So absolute guard. If you look at the health bar, you see I just jabbed. I wasn't holding guard anymore, and it blocked it because it's so plus. I think it's great. I think it's good the way it is. Maybe I'd reduce the block stun so that it isn't so plus, but I think it's good the way it is. Yeah, his whole game plan is getting in, so having a super where he gets in your face and he basically has the advantage is great. And then he has this super, which I think's just it's not great. The range is really bad. You know, look how close I am. This will hit, but you know, somewhat decent damage raw. But if I do it in a combo, you know. Oh wait, I went to do the other super then. You know, you're not tacking on a great deal of damage. You know, it has a weak hitbox, obviously. I think it would be good as an anti-air if it had invincibility, to be honest. I think that would be a great way to change the move. It doesn't do much outside of it. It's not good to extend combos with or finish combos with because you don't get enough damage. I just think making it a move that's dedicated to punching someone out of the air quite consistently will make it much more useful. This move, there's a couple things I'll change about this. First off, it's pretty fast for an unblockable, even if it's got like tiny range. It's a bit too quick for an unblockable, I'd say. On top of that, you can super cancel off of it. You can actually in the corner just combo off of it, like I did in the arcade run against Haydn. I would change it so that it's just positive on block, kind of like a super. I would make it a move where you do it if your opponent blocks it, you're at an advantage, and you get to continue pressure, and it helps facilitate the mix-up mind game of this character. I would also give it a second ability where it destroys projectiles as long as the circle is here. So let me try this. I'm playing both characters, both hands. So you throw the fireball, you see it doesn't do anything, you just get hit. I would make it so that it destroys projectiles so that he's not completely lost full screen, because this floaty jump is not going to help him maneuver around fireballs. If anything, the best thing he's got is this rolling kick, which it's fine, but the move itself is relatively slow, which it should be. It should be a slow move, because if this was fast, it would basically be a broken move. But you can't just rely on this by itself, especially with the speed. Like, people will throw fireballs in your face. I don't think you can do it straight away. Oh, you can. That's good. That's a good move. Damn. But yeah. What I will say is, yeah, he needs more options. While he can, like I said before, like a Remy or like a Power Wave character, you could probably hop over their fireballs if you time it well, but you know, if the roll is what you usually use to get round fireballs and it works because it goes under fireballs, people with low fireballs are just going to cause havoc and you can't get around it. So you need another move to help him deal with projectiles so that, you know, he can he's not so helpless. Obviously he won't be using this to dominate the fight from this range, but it means he's, you know, not stranded. I think that's almost everything. The floaty jump, I just want the jump to be a little bit faster. I think with a constricted movement because of the hops, I think having a better jump might be good for him. Not crazy amount, but just a little bit better. One other thing, level 3 command throw. It's good. This is only invincible move.
This could be interesting.
It doesn't look like it's doing any damage, but it does actually do a lot of damage. It's just because of trainer mode, it won't show you. Because of the way the move's coded. I assume anyways. I haven't looked into the character's code. But you can't combo into it, which is fine. Another thing is it's not slow, but you can jump it on reaction. So there is that. It's not like a command grab that you can just throw out. It almost kind of exists as a defensive tool just because of its invincibility. But I think for sure the command grab should hit by the time the super flashes. So you know, people can't just jump out of it because it is a level 3. It does cost all your meter. Overall, you know, there are weaknesses. This thing is great. This move is amazing. I love this move, and I love the 100 hands. You can just confirm off of it quite easily. And then you get a combo afterwards. I forgot to mention the weird inconsistency. Like the light kicks, normals. When your character blocks, you can't do this. He won't cancel into certain moves. Like this doesn't work on block. You can do this on block though, for whatever reason, which I think is actually really useful, because the rolling kick is safe and this move is not, and it's his longest reach in normal actually. So there's weird inconsistencies across some of the normals. It's weird that some moves cancel into specials when they're blocking, and some others don't. It's just a bit of a peculiar quirk. I think that's what I got for this character. Thanks again to TMC55 for requesting this character. I think he's really fun. I genuinely do. I love the mix-ups. I like just basically getting into people's faces and just wilding out. I would definitely say this move needs a bit of a fix because it's ridiculous. It's there are situations where you can just like end up here and just sort of do this over and over till they die. Obviously, if the character has a reversal, they can see the move happening, an uppercut or whatever. But especially against some characters that don't have the defensive options, if you time it, you know, if they get knocked down here, they're dead. You've won the fight. So I'll definitely at least make it plus, but not unblockable. If anyone has any characters that they're interested in me checking out, you know, just drop a comment on the video and just pester me about trying out the character, and I'll probably end up checking out the character, because this lab stuff's really fun to me. I would say, if you do plan on requesting a character, don't suggest chibis, because I really don't like chibis. I don't like the hitbox or hurtbox inconsistencies with like most characters in the game, so it's just a bit awkward for me. I tend to avoid cheap characters as well, because they tend to be like sort of one note. They have like a couple of moves where it's just like it does everything, and they're not particularly interesting to try out. I think characters should have some weaknesses, because then you learn to play around them, and you get good at sort of mitigating the weaknesses through your playstyle, rather than just having it inherently bred onto you by wielding a powerful character. Yeah, that's what I got. Download this character, he's fun, and you know, praise Elect Bite. Peace.